Okay, Virgo. I actually want to look at this Tower card because I have this feeling that this is either looming or you're going through it right now. And okay, yeah, Nine of Swords is super stressful. Like, I'm not going to take away that the Tower is hard, all right? It can be really hard. As much as we would all like to think that this only happens on the inside and it's just like as easy as switching our mind, like I know that sometimes this can represent like a divorce, right? Or it could represent, getting fired, or it can be quote unquote negative, all right? It can be. Which is kind of what puts you in that spinning mood and like really, really, really connecting with fear. So this is a true test of like, how much do you believe in all the things you preach? And like, I'm a Virgo too, so, I've kind of had to go through that a couple times this year of like, here you are preaching all this stuff and yet you don't even do it yourself. It's like, you know what to do, but you don't do it. And some of you might be saying like, okay, I know I need to be at the 10 of Cups. I know I need to do that, but how can I feel the gratitude when I don't feel it, And it's hard. It is hard. And it is a part of the learning curve, the learning process. And it's a part of us finding freedom. And sometimes freedom can be like the scariest thing. So if you are experiencing something harsh and your reality is somewhat limited right now and you're feeling out of control, Queen of Swords, right? Scale it back, step back, do the meditations, observe your own life as though you are a third party watching your life like on a movie screen, Are you your own reality show? If you can, like, answers will come more clearly. Sometimes it's when we are in this, state of constantly striving for solutions, like universe, give me the answer, universe, give me the answer. That answer becomes more and more evasive and we feel like we're just kind of chasing a mirage at that point. But when you stop asking for an answer, the path opens up, right, with the Ace of Wands. Don't forget the aspect of this being a path, a venture. Right, there is a quality of action with wands, right? Fire, it has to, it's hot, right? So it compels us to do certain things. So you don't have to, and usually the Nine of Swords can actually be derived from wanting to do something and then not doing it. Like the Ace of Wands is the thing that's going to make you happy. But probably the reason why you're not like allowing the happiness is because there's some effect on someone else, or you're more like wanting to blame someone or whatever. But see, the Six of Cups is coming out here as a reminder that it's a gift. I often see this as like a gift from the universe, right? Here you have one child who's older than this child here, someone of greater wisdom giving a gift to someone of lesser wisdom. So if you think the universe is going to give you a gift, right, this is what this really is. It's a gift. So let it be a gift. And then the minute that you do, that is when you unlock yourself from your own prison, right? You unlock yourself from your own restrictions. And the minute that you do that and you kind of loosen your grips on things, you allow different beliefs to come to you and you allow outdated beliefs to fall away, you create slack, right? You create slack in the rope. And the Page of Coins comes in, and the Page of Wands comes in, and the Page of Swords comes in, an opportunity for money, someone here who, people that you want to talk to, people you want to work with, people you want to date, people you want to be around you. I'm feeling a buzzing around you. And in some of the readings, the energy has been like, okay, like I think it was the Taurus reading that I did, if I remember correctly. So here we have like the Taurus in the very center of the reading, and all around it is all of this buzzing, but the Taurus is like unaffected. You're kind of like that, but not really, or not quite, because there's all this buzzing going on around you, but you're inviting it in. You're not like completely detached from all of the people. You're not completely detached from all of the activity. You're engaging with people, right? You're not doing a hermit mode thing. I don't know that a hermit mode thing is, I don't think that's very attractive to you right now, because the Scorpio energy is like, let's move, let's move, let's move, let's go, let's create, let's make things happen. But you do, and you bring in money, and you bring in attention, and you bring in the people that really see how special and attractive you really are. And all of this work that you've done, it is going to push you to move on. Like it is. It's going to push you into a new direction. But that direction is taking you here, It's taking you to a place where you are free from all of this anxiety, you're free from all of this kind of chaos and drama. And I think you really do need to stand up for yourself. You really do need to protect the dream. And I think this 10 of Cups is, first of all, the belief that it's possible. It's not about being realistic this month, guys. I'm sorry. As much as we would like to say Scorpio is all this intense energy and it's dark and all of this, honestly, some of the Scorpios that I have in my life are like the most optimistic people I have ever met, right? These are the people that are like, yeah, it's possible. Let's go. Let's do it. And they push, they drive, and they force their way through. So like, there should be no doubt that the thing that you're kind of hoping to achieve in your life is possible, because it is. And that is a dream worth protecting and like fighting to the death. Right? Which is why I don't see you getting all like Debbie Downer about these other Debbie Downer people. You're just like, fine, you can go be Debbie Downers if you want. I'm just going to go do my 10 of Cups thing. I'm just going to be grateful, be abundant, be happy, and be fearless, and let's just see what happens. Like I'll talk to you in a couple years and we'll see how far it takes me. And there is that quality, like I said before, of, okay, something needs to end so that something can come in. I think this this period of, it very much is the difference between trying to make something happen and just allowing something to happen. These reversals here is the period of trying to make something happen, which is why the Devil here has been reversed. You've been, in the past, not anymore, but in the past, you have been, under the guise of like, yeah, but you're supposed to work hard, and you're supposed to put in the time, and you're supposed to be like obsessed with your goals and all this. You're kind of putting that narrative aside and saying, you know what, I just need to relax. And when that happens, that is when the pages start coming in and the aces start coming in, right? Now, the Judgment reverse is interesting, because to me it tells me that there are still things to be illuminated, which is why the humility is so important. And there's a difference. I'm not trying to say be like weak, but be humble. Be humble in knowing that even still, as I'm telling you to like step outside of yourself and to gain a different witness kind of perspective, that there is still things to come. And there are still answers to be received, right? Conclusions. There are still going to be conclusions with things. And so it's not about forcing things to close, right now, because the universal forces are going to do it. But it's about really like saying, okay, maybe there are things that the universe needs me to close out that I didn't think needed to go in the trash pile. Like maybe they're sitting in your maybe pile right now, and you're like, yeah, but there's all these reasons why I kind of want to keep it. And the universe is like, no, trash. Like, get rid of it, So there's still answers needing to come out about certain things in the past, but it's not going to stop the future Two of Cups coming in, okay? It's not going to stop the future unions. It's not going to stop the present connections even. It's only going to work backwards, I think. It's only going to take care of things from the past. I don't know why I feel that. That's kind of a weird thing to say. Just a feeling that I've got. So as we make our way to the Magician card, Ace of Coins. Excuse me, Ace of Cups. I'm sorry. Yeah. We have the passion here, and we have the emotional fulfillment here. This is the epitome of like so much gratitude that your cup runneth over. This is actually when you become the most useful. Like when you have these two combined, this is when Virgo really makes a dent in the world. It really makes a dent in their goals, because when you are so overabundant, that is the time when just in your state of being, people benefit. Just by who you are, just by how you walk down the street, just by the way you say hello to your barista in the morning, just the way you help someone at work. Like you have that vibrance and that brilliance that people like are so lacking nowadays that it's noticeable. And just by being around you, right? That's why all these pages, just by being around you, you make a positive impact in their life. You know, and that's such a blessing. Humility, right? It's not about being cocky or arrogant or anything like that. And then the Wheel of Fortune reverse. So this coming out up here tells me that in the next upcoming weeks, now is a time about doing the magic. It's about sustaining the 10 of Cups frequency as long as possible. When the wheel turns over down here, okay, this is when the manifestation into the reality actually happens. Right now, I think you're kind of waiting. You may feel suspended, Hanged Man reverse. You may feel suspended, and you may feel like nothing is happening. That's why you have strength, because it's a reminder that just because you don't see it doesn't mean you're not affecting change. All right, you are affecting the cosmos by your 10 of Cups frequency. And the work is happening. You just can't see it. And that can be a very frustrating thing, because in our culture of like immediate gratification, you know, we always want to see results right away. This is not going to work like that. You're trying to get to, you know, your ultimate $1 million, whatever. And it takes time for the energy to adjust and settle around that energy, right? So when you throw a boulder into a very still pond, how long does it take for the water to reach stillness again, right? It takes a while. So that's what's happening. The tower happens, you throw a boulder into the still pond, and you are being asked to just wait and to be very happy waiting. That's it, right? To just be very happy waiting, and to be grateful for the wait, even to be grateful to be suspended here, to be grateful for the opportunity to learn how to keep the 10 of Cups energy going. This is deep emotional stability. Now, I like this person. As I'm looking at him, I'm like, this is an external person. This is a connection with the cups. You're coming out as the swords. So I'm like, there's definitely an individual. This is a card of Scorpio, all right, that is, could be Cancer, could be Pisces as well, or anyone that kind of has that emotional aspect to them. They could have a Venus or a rising in those signs too. And this is someone that is solid and serious about you, serious about doing business with you. There could be a financial component with them, like an investor or a phantom partner or something, or of course romance, of course. There could definitely be something, you know, like that. They're there, you know, they are there in the frequency. And they might not be in your reality quite yet, or they might be, but either way, they are hidden in the frequency of the 10 of Cups space. Now, the 9 of Coins reversed tells me that I think Virgo is really, really ready to be partnered. They're really ready for that stability. They're really ready for that like relationship and for that love. And I think there's a depth that this King of Cups offers Virgo that not a lot of people can offer. And for whatever reason, this particular individual makes Virgo feel at peace. They kind of lift away the intensity of the black cards here, right? The black color on these cards represents absorption, right? And so when we have a circumstance or a person or whatever in our life that absorbs all of our energy, it can be extraordinarily draining. I think Virgo is tired of being tired, right? Tired of being drained, tired of dedicating so much stuff and energy and attention to certain things that, like, you're ready for something light. And I think this King of Cups offers something light and carefree, but with the emotional and, even financial security as well, to kind of keep something stable. So I think that's really amazing. As we make our way to the Hanged Man here, this is usually the time frame when people start freaking out, because I think people want to see the results. People want to see Virgos changing. It's going to be important for you to kind of keep your mouth shut about all this manifestation stuff that you're doing. It's important for you to do the work, manifest things into your reality, and then talk about it. Right? But for the time being, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell people what you're doing. Don't tell people how you're doing it. Just let the results speak for themselves. Mercury retrograde can bring out the conflict, but if you choose to transcend the conflict, you can. But you have to choose that first. This is a time when there could be little melodramas going on. There could be a lot of arguing in relationships. There could be a lot of tension in relationships. But I also think that those kinds of circumstances stem from people not really chasing their bliss and expecting external circumstances to change to make them happy. And when you step out of, when you kind of I'm not, I can't change and make you happy. And you can't change and make me happy. If you can stand in that perspective, that is when you step on that chariot, and that's when things start happening really, really fast. Now, the Seven of Coins is the tendency to be a little discouraged with the lack of results right away. Like I said, you're going to have to be patient, which is why Strength came out. This is truly a boulder in the pond, all right? So you have to just realize that that's what's happened and that's it, period, and okay, and you just have to work with that. So this is you maybe feeling oh my God, you're watching the clock. When is this water gonna flatten out? When is this energy gonna become the new normal, When is this 10 of Cups going to become the new normal? It can be hard. Holding a frequency of the 10 of Cups is hard. It's not an easy thing. You do have to be aware of it all the time. You have to be aware of how you talk about other people, the wishes that you think of people, right? If you get pangs of jealousy, you have to be able to step outside your jealousy and transmute that into feeling inspired by someone. You have to, send well wishes to people, and, it can take practice. And if you're used to being a little bit, gloomy, or if you're used to feeling restricted, sometimes that can be, I'm not going to say it's hard, or I'm not going to say it's going to be like that. It's not going to be uncomfortable for everybody, but for some people it is going to be uncomfortable to do that, and you do have to work to keep that going. So, the Seven of Coins is just a reminder that you still have 7 coins. That's still a lot. Don't forget all the work you've done. It's gotten you here to this point so that you can now realize the things that you hope to realize in this lifetime. All right? 8 of Swords reversed. What did I say about priorities? You have to be authentic, guys. Anything other than your authentic self is just going to continue to drain you. Virgo cannot handle fakeness right now, especially within themselves, especially with their closest confidants. And I think there's kind of this energy of forcing people to be super real, right? It's Scorpio season. It's an authentic time. It's about being real. And the Six of Swords reversed is a suggestion that the choppy waters, all right, They're still around you. There's still movement. There's still buzzing and all of that. So don't get it twisted in thinking that nothing's happening, because eventually that Page of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Page of Coins, they're going to start showing up one by one, real subtle, barely noticeable. You might not even know who these people are, or what these things are. You know, just like little things of activity. I think the universe is going to start testing you, quote unquote testing, even though I don't really think that's it, but it's going to start saying, is Virgo really in the mode of receiving? Like, can they really receive all these blessings right now? Or are they all twisted in their head of like telling me I'm going to receive and then shoving things away when it feels uncomfortable? These may challenge you a little bit, right? Five of Wands. They may challenge you a little bit. There could be an energy of like wanting, and then the minute something shows up, you know, you're like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to handle it. Is this person serious? Is this person for real? Is this offer for real? I don't know whether to believe it. And then you can spiral into questions and doubts and all of that, and kind of take you right back to where you've always been. So start saying yes to things, all right? And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Look, the Cups is behind you. The Cups is behind you. This is you preparing for the 10. This is you looking at your past life experience and saying, yeah, no, I think I did pretty good. Like, yeah, I did pretty good. I worked hard. I made things happen. I think things are good. And like giving yourself a big fat pat on the back. You know, it's time for things to start seeping out of you. It's time for the toxicity and the poison to get out of your soul, to get out of your psyche, because again, your natural state is is a liberated state. Your natural state is one of joy and ecstasy, and the Fool is like, come on, come on, come on, and he's pulling you, and it's happening by way of the Aces and by way of the Pages, right? This is the way that the Fool is really working with you right now, the way the Magician is really working with you right now, with little opportunities, okay? Follow the Fool, because the Fool inside of you, that kind of childlike, wondrous, constantly in a state of awe, always curious about what life can bring, that is a 10 of Cups frequency. 5 of Swords. This is the person. I don't know that we need to dwell on this so much, because I think it's because of this person who has been stressful and who may have cheated on you or hurt you, or who may have been ghosting you, or who may have, like, you know, forced you to be in an extended hermit phase in your life. Because of that comes the Ace of Wands. This is where the Ace of Wands comes from. That's why, again, you can sit here and kind of be negative about this stuff if you want, but you might as well look at it as a learning experience, because beautiful things will always blossom. There is always life in these kinds of weird experiences. You know, the Knight of Wands may have been someone that you wanted a relationship with but couldn't have one. Maybe you were in a marriage with this person for 20 years and all of a sudden, you know, like it's really not time anymore because you're not trying to be anyone's mom or dad anymore, right? You're just trying to like do the happiness thing. And the Ace of Wands is like, okay, great. Here's the open door, and this is your very light-hearted, look how similar they are. Very light-hearted, very free, very fun. There's kind of a whimsical aspect to both of these cards. And it truly is the curiosity, you know, when people are curious about life, life really shows them. And remember, the King of Cups over here, there's definitely something, okay? Now, a lot of people are going to look at this, and they're going to look at this, and they're going to say, oh my God, that's like a third-party situation. Look, if you were in a third-party situation, that's probably going to be showing up here, or in this particular thing, or with all of this stuff. That's not what this is. This is an expression of your joy and celebrating your life, right? And for those of you who are wanting romantic relationships, the Lovers, like, I'm sorry, but to have a King and Queen of Cups, which are the same suit coming out, plus the Hierophant, which can represent marriage. Then we got the Four of Wands down here, or somewhere. Where was the Four of Wands? Over here. right? So here we have these cards here. These are 2 cards of marriage. These are cards that signify solid relationships. They signify stability and all of that. And here is someone who, like, I think really, really gets you. And the 3 of Cups is celebrating that fact. So many cups, 6 of Cups, Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, right? It's all being from the heart. As much as the Queen of Swords back here wants to be all logical about it, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to escape the desire of your heart. You're just simply not going to be able to do it. So if you follow your heart, you invite all of these amazing things into your life. Sorry, I know I made a mess. Let's go ahead and pull one last oracle card and close out the reading here. One last oracle card for Virgo. What is the energy that Virgo needs to contend with? Okay. Why? That's all this energy. Why? When you start saying it's always in my best interest, then your why is always answered. Be careful that you're not drowning in questions, right? Because now is the time of faith. You have to have faith when the Tower comes out. You have to have faith when the Wheel of Fortune comes out. This is like the faith in the laws of the universe, the faith in the laws of attraction and the laws of polarity and gender and like the law of vibration and all of that. Because these laws, they truly do govern the universe. And if you don't have faith in them and you don't utilize them, then you will never see the benefits, and then therefore you will always doubt. But when you start believing and you start really shooting for the stars, and you really start shooting for all that could be possible, that's when it starts actually coming to you. You know what I mean? So if you consistently sit there and question these pages when they try to come in, these aces when they try to come in, and say, well, why is this happening, and all this skepticism and all of that, you're just simply going to push it away, and the universe says, okay, well, you're not here, therefore I can't give you this. You know? Like, you got to show up to the party if you want to enjoy the party. You got to be there, you know? So be careful of how much you're asking why. It's not about always having the answer. It's about the journey. It's about the ride. And that's one of the beautiful things I love about the Fool is he's just totally on board with whatever, you know? Okay, Virgo, big reading for you. I wish you absolutely nothing but the best, all right? Thank you so much for everything. Have an excellent Scorpio season. I'll see you in the next few weeks for Sagittarius season, all right? Thanks so much. Take care.